So I believe that acting helps kids to develop their soft skills, to develop their personal brands, so they can build businesses on top of it, even if they don't choose to be actors in the future. We all understand that not everyone will become actor, and that's fine. There's so many other professions around the industry, or being an entrepreneur, also very helpful having those skills.
Welcome to the Empowered Woman Podcast, the #1 show on visibility strategies for women entrepreneurs. If you want to get empowered to be seen, stand out on social media, stages, TV, and more to make an impact with your voice and business, you're in the right place. I'm so glad that you're here. My name is Marcia Spurk, and I'm your host, professional singer and visibility strategist. Welcome again, and let's dive into today's episode. Hi, Annie. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Hi, Marta. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Yes, I am so excited to share about your business and what you do with my audience because it's super fun and different. So why don't you go ahead and tell us who you are and what you do?
So my name is Annie Semenova. I came to US almost 10 years ago, just me and my 5-year-old daughter, with big dreams, escaping. At that time, revolution already started. So we came here, we didn't know anyone. My first business was, actually, my first job was I was working as a party character, as a Disney princess at kids' birthdays. Then I managed to open my first acting studio for kids because I have bachelor in theater.
Okay.
And then I opened another studio, and I did it for like 4.5 years. I burned out because it was a lot. But that time, my daughter already signed up with top agency. She started working, and mom started just naturally come to me and ask questions, advice. But I, as a system person, I knew that just one or two advice won't never help. Yeah. And so I created the system. I started teaching moms 101. And then when the COVID hit, actually it helped me because I moved everything online and I started teaching moms all over America, even in the States where acting is not like major thing. And then I onboarded the team and I'm doing this full time for about 4.5 years now.
That is so impressive. Well, first of all, I definitely commend you being an immigrant myself and being in the US for almost 10 years as well, on and off, to just, come with no contacts and start a business right away. So that's what you did right off the bat because you worked with acting back home as well. So that was your go-to. But then to start your agency and to see the opportunity of, hey, these people are asking me for advice. I'm not just going to, not only for your own benefit, but because of what you said, giving you 2 tips is not going to get you there. You actually need some coaching and some mentorship. And then you made a whole program out of it. And like for many of us online entrepreneurs, COVID was a blessing to move everything virtually and be able to serve more people. That is so cool. All right, so tell me exactly then what the business is and what people can expect when they land on your website and things like that. Like, who are the people that could benefit from your services?
So my business is 6 weeks program. It's online course, which contained like every module, 6 modules. Every module contains around 4, 5, 6 lessons, which is like 25, 45 minutes each. Then we have masterminds every week with me. When we work a lot on mindset because it's an industry where you have to be resilient and, you have to know how to motivate yourself because there's lots of no's and like one yes and 50 no's. You have to know how to like cheer yourself up. Then we have every person has a mentor in like one-on-one chat, and we have a community of moms all together where they can chat with each other. And after they finish the course, they also have a community where they can get support, when they can be like have their questions answered, because there's lots of scam going on around. We always share those like scammy projects, or maybe someone got on set and something's bothering them. They like write in the chat and moms change their experience. So it's a lot of like it's a great community. My mom says that this is the best chat they have in their phone, and they really enjoy it. Lots of success during last 5 years. I have kids guest stars in HBO shows, CBS shows, series regulars on Netflix, brands like Facebook, LG, Grubhub, like major commercials. My daughter was able to get into best art high school nationwide for cinematic arts because of the experience she got being an actor, because she can get in any room and she can win the room in like 5 minutes because she just trained to do that, you
Yeah.
know. So I believe that acting gives kids lots of opportunities in life and prepare them to this new world with AI, when we have to be really, like competitive, and because lots of profession will disappear and now we have even bigger competition for the
Yeah.
job. So I believe that acting helps kids to develop their soft skills, to develop their personal brands, so they can build businesses on top of it, even if they don't choose to be actors in the future. We all understand that not everyone will become actor, and that's fine.
Mhm.
There's so many other professions around the industry, or being entrepreneur, also very helpful having those skills.
Yeah. Well, and that was one of the things when you said it's a very competitive industry and you have to get used to rejection and to saying no and work on your mindset. I mean, that's what a great preparation for the future for anyone. And I think even when you think sports or becoming an athlete, it's a similar experience. You have to be prepared to lose or to understand that you're learning and, meeting people and making connections and preparing yourself for other things, even if it's not acting. Now, one thing I wanted to ask you, because we do hear so many stories of, child Hollywood actors that end up not having that great of a future, or that it scars them for life. And not just actors, but musicians. Like we have Britney Spears and all these people that start so young and then things happen. Uh, do any of the moms come to you with those concerns? How do you coach them through that? Or what is your thoughts on that for someone that may be listening to you and be thinking, yeah, it sounds great, but I'm not sure.
It's interesting because I have two audience. One audience is Russian speaking because it's just my people. It was easy to connect with them. And there's another audience, my American and English speaking clients. So it's interesting because Russian audience, they not afraid of things like that. They just go for it. They have other things that they're afraid of, but not this. And Americans, mom, are very concerned with like all of that. Quiet on Set movie just came out, the story of
Yeah,
abuse,
yeah.
right? And all of those like horrible things. And it's I always believe that it all starts with family.
Mm.
Like if the family is healthy, the relationship with kids is healthy, and for example, my relationship with my daughter is my priority. Like I really make sure that we are close, because it's so easy, especially she's a teenager right now, to get that crack, which will, go like separate us apart. So this is my priority, always make sure that she sees me as a role model. She, like, we have good relationship, trust me. I never, like, for example, in my childhood, if I do something bad, my parents would blame me and like, ground me. With her, I always like try to be her first like support and like sympathize her, empathize with her mistakes.
Yeah.
So things like that. I think when parents make their relationship with kids as a priority, they are the people who kids come to when something's going off.
Yeah.
That's the first thing. Second, well, responsibility. Some parents come to me and they like, oh, we just want to find agent who will do all the job, or we want to find the manager. And that's one of the values of mine. I say, no, you cannot delegate your child to anyone. You have to be their manager, at least for the first like 3, 4 years, because only mom knows when her child has to rest, or when it's time to push them a little bit because they're just being lazy.
Yeah.
It's such a creative process being a parent,
Yeah.
and to bring them up as that flower when you water or you put them under the sun, and you like, it's a lot of work. So that's number two thing. And also industry changed a lot. Like we are so with social media, we have so much access to like mental health,
Right.
experts and here and there. And those stories, actually, the stories that teaches us, like, and we can learn from those mistakes. And if I really, really analyze, like, for example, Macaulay Culkin or Lindsay Lohan, yes, it's a story of like roller coaster going down, but here he is having a beautiful wife, an adorable child, like I think every kid can um like have that moment when they like discover drugs and like decide for themselves. It not necessarily yes, of course, being an actor you have so much pressure,
Mhm.
but even being a regular kid in school you can also face those problems. So I don't really think it's a problem of profession. I think it's coming from family, and it's coming from not being able to go to the right expert and like when it's time, and it's a job of the parents.
Mhm. No, that makes a lot of sense because to your point, the things that we see, it's just being publicized and put on magazines and everyone's just talking about it. But any other regular teenager that is not in the public eye could be going through the same thing, could be going to jail, could be getting a DUI, whatever. We're just not talking about it because they're not famous. So that makes a lot of sense. Now, in terms of age, and I love what you said too, especially in the beginning and especially as they're young, the parents need to be very involved. You can't delegate your child. That was brilliant. You can't delegate your child to someone else. So, what is a good age? You mentioned your daughter started as early as 5. How do you
Yes.
know? Because I'm sure that varies by child as well, because they have different personalities. So, how would a mom know if their kid is ready? What do you recommend?
Well, I always say the earlier the better, just because when, of course, babies, they don't have so much work. And this is good. Like when parents come to me and say, oh, we don't have so much job and we are 8 months old, I say, why you want to have so much job, Like once in 2 months having a commercial, that's great.
Mhm.
We had Mike on Apple billboards all over America. We have the girl, I see, I forgot her name. Sorry, I have so much clients. I forgot her name, but she was in Everything Everywhere All at Once, the Oscar-winning movie. She was the baby when the Michelle Yeoh gave the birth to her daughter. So, and having just one or two things when you are a baby, I think that's great when like your parents show you your video and stuff like that. But really, like working age that kids start working a lot, it's 3, 4, 5.
Okay.
And if the child is shy, I would say go to acting studio first, like go to improv classes, play the acting games so they can, relax a little bit, and then they can start working. But with kids, it happens so fast. They learn so fast. Like a few months, they can be ready for a job.
Let me take a quick second to talk to you if you're serious about your visibility. If you really want to take your visibility to the next level, your business to the next level when it comes to visibility without hiring a PR agency, then you need to check out my More Visibility Mastermind. This is a 6-month container, an intimate container with 15 students max, where we get down and dirty with your business, in your business, and I help you really expand your reach. We look into your content strategy, into your speaking strategy, your networking strategy, and as a group or also at a VIP level, we really create a visibility strategy for you. Because here's the thing, if you don't have a solid visibility strategy, you are not helping as many people as you could with your gifts and with your expertise. So go on ahead in the link in the show notes and submit an application and get notified when the doors open next.
And now, in terms of the business, because then I was already going to ask, and then you mentioned some parents being like, "We're not getting many jobs." Well, if you have an 8-month-old, how many
Yeah.
jobs do you want to have? Your job is making sure they sleep and eat and all this
Yeah.
stuff. It's already a full-time job. The business side of it, how much can you expect to make? Like, Can you walk us through what that journey looks like? Because as I was telling you before we started recording, this is so unique. Usually I have, financial planners and business coaches come here, and I'm very familiar with that side of things. Like you create a coaching package, you have one-on-one clients, you have a group program, which is similar to the model that you have. But how does this work in terms of commercials? And if you're booked in a series, what can you expect in terms of income?
Well, I one of my values that parents don't come to me with the intention to make money on kids, because like kids don't have to work and don't have to provide their family. It's really for kids, but it's a nice bonus.
Mhm.
Like for a SAC commercial, you can get something from $3,000 to $40,000, and I have clients who made $40,000 on commercials. I have a girl who did a series regular. She made in 4 months she made $160,000, but this is really with taxes and
Yeah.
percentage that you give your agent, it's obviously not $160,000 in the end. So it really depends. Non-union projects, they're so much less. It can be $100 and $200. So the parents who come to me, they really come for, first of all, giving the opportunities to their kids and build some fundament for them for the future. But yeah, it's very nice. Like my daughter for Citibank commercial, she got $6,000. It's pretty nice, and she spent that money as much as she wants. She buy herself clothes, so I don't really spend money on her clothes, which is also saving
Oh,
me
that's
some
nice.
money.
That's a bonus.
Yeah.
Nice. So from when they start working, how long is the process of auditioning for things until they actually book a job? What's the typical timeline, or is there a typical timeline?
Well, it's interesting because I'm playing around the classes as well, like my modules. And for the last three cohorts, I created the program that allowed them to book actually jobs in first like 4 weeks.
Wow.
So one of my client, he got a Crocs commercial like on third week of studying. So it's really if the child is ready, it can happen really fast.
Mm-hmm. Nice. So tell me more about the process of working with you as well. I know you have a free resource and you offer consultations. So let's imagine I'm ready. I want to put my triplets. I have 8-year-old triplets.
Oh,
My
really?
daughter is more inclined into these kinds of things. So let's just imagine, I decide I want to try this out. And so how does it work? What do I do?
Yeah, that's right. I have a free resource is really a like general explanation of what is industry, also sharing like 5 first steps that you can actually implement yourself if you really want to spend time and like make your own research. What my program really does is just saving mom's time and also the mistakes that I've done with my daughter. They just don't repeat my mistakes. And it really, for example, some of my clients in 1 year create results that I've done with my daughter in 5 years.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and then if you're ready, you go to my main program, which is 6 weeks, and you just do step by step. It's very practical course. You learn and you do right away, which I love about it because you like don't waste your time. You can watch your lessons and do something right away. And you just finish the course in 6 weeks. You're ready, like being a manager for your kid because there's so much information and so many wonderful experts like Howard Meltzer, who is a casting director who worked with Disney, like mom of the Grace Van Dane, it's a actress from Stranger Things. She has a lesson. There's a coach from the coach who works with Nickelodeon. So I just gathered those people, like the best people that I know, and they also like recorded some lessons. So it's just a wonderful program, which I wish I had when I came to Hollywood. It will save me so much time and will give my daughter much more opportunities that we had.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Now, when you mentioned the mistakes, I'm curious. what were some of the things that, obviously you're not going to give everything away and we wouldn't have time anyways, but some of the main things that you, now looking back, you're like, oh, I should have done it differently, that people may not be aware of?
Absolutely. Like first headshots, because I didn't really have money. I tried to do them by myself with my friend who has camera. And now I look back at them like that wasn't really right.
Right.
I wonder how she booked anything with those headshots. So like really go to a professional or really learn at least what those headshots should look like and try to create something like that. Then also there's some acting studios in LA. There's more than 50 acting studios, but really like professional, maybe 5 of them. So do not spend money and go to the acting studios. They're not really professional. So I share with my clients where to go, where not to go. Um, some projects that would come because I didn't have much experience. I didn't know that it's so important, so we didn't really put much time into like creating that self-tape. And then after some time, we realized that it was audition for Queen's Gambit, for example. And I was like, oh, I wish we spent much more time on that audition. So things like that, you know,
Yeah.
that's what it was on top of my mind right now.
Yeah, no, that's great. That's great starting points for people. Very nice. So what is in the future for you? What's coming up? You're still tweaking the course. Obviously, as you get more people to go through, you start seeing things you can add and things you can tweak. What do you have coming up?
Yeah, I'm expanding my business to American audience even more. I just had one cohort, but it's not much because Russian-speaking people living in America, they all know me. They really know me. When I come in the room, they know me. But with American audience, it's different. So I'm expanding my business there. I'm writing book. I'm thinking of going to TED Talk
Ooh, that's
and
exciting.
talk there. Yeah. What else? One of my dreams is to create the reality show
Ooh,
where I show the kids acting from another side because people have one like view about it,
yeah.
like kind of negative around it, and like dance moms,
Hmm.
reality shows,
Yes.
they're like dramatic and a little bit,
So true.
weird. So I want to create a different show. I know that for ratings you have to have drama and
Right.
stuff, but I don't want that. I want to show kids acting is a beautiful thing that opens up opportunities for kids, who teaches them to be artists, to develop their creativity and soft skills. So that's my goal. I don't know how popular that will be without all the drama and dirt. But that's my one of my dreams, to create that kind of reality show.
That's beautiful. I love that you have found the positive side of it. And like you said, by staying true to your values and not seeing this as just an ATM machine and using your child. So I love the positive message, which is very empowering as well, which leads me beautifully to my final question, which I like to call it my $1 million question. And typically when I ask this question, the guest has already touched on it, but I would love a specific answer. What is an empowered woman then?
Empowered woman is someone who believes in herself, who works on herself every day, becoming a better person, someone who's not afraid, and someone who shares her gifts with other people.
Hmm. Beautiful. I love that. And empowered women empower their children as well to showcase their gifts and become stronger. I love that the work that you do is really encouraging kids to believe in themselves, right? And putting them in those situations can really help them build thick skin and people skills, communication skills, all of those things that could be very, very important for their future. Well, thank you so much, Annie. It was such a pleasure talking to you, getting to know more about your work. Thank you for all that you're doing out there for moms and kids.
Thank you so much, Marta. It was a pleasure.
Thanks so much for tuning in today. I hope this episode empowered you. And if you enjoyed the show, please join the Empowered Woman community on Facebook and share with friends or leave a review on iTunes so more people can discover this empowering message. Until next time, bye.